Hi guys, this is Cody here, CJW Music for God channel. I'm just gonna do a whole bunch of videos on the various devotionals and different things that I'm doing right now. Um, One is gonna be about uh, God, the first entrepreneur. It's in conjunction with Genesis, and in the beginning, God did everything and that kind of stuff. But it's called God the First Entrepreneur. There's also one called Jumpstart Your Finances. I'm going to be doing that one as well in a different video. But right now, I'm going to do the first entrepreneur, so I'm going to read this. And it says, the first entrepreneur, the first thing God reveals about himself in Scripture is not that he is loving, holy, omnipotent, gracious, or just. No, the first thing that God shows us is that he is creative. In Genesis, he brings something out of nothing. He brings order out of chaos. He creates for the good of others. In short, God is the first entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a title thrown around so much today that it has become very difficult to define. I would submit that the entrepreneur is anyone who takes the risk to create something new for the good of others. Using this definition, the creator of the universe certainly qualifies as the first entrepreneur. In Genesis, he is clearly creating something new. Before creation, the earth was formless and empty, until the first entrepreneur spoke. Then in 6 days his voice brought forth the heavens, the earth, light, evening, morning, sky, land, sea, vegetation, sun, moon, stars, animals, and man. Not only did he create something original, he also created something for the good of others. God certainly didn't need to create the world and mankind, so why did he? Before the creation, the Father, Spirit, and Son had been enjoying perfect community, serving and loving each other for all eternity. If the Trinity reveals the other's orientation of the Godhead, it stands to reason that one of the reasons why God created was to share the perfect love the Trinity had been experiencing for all eternity with us. So while God clearly created something new for the good of others, did omnipotent, omniscient God really take a risk when he created? Certainly he didn't take a risk in the way you and I do when we launch a new business, compose a new song, or write a new book. But he did risk in a different, far more profound way. As Pastor Timothy Keller explains, God made the world filled with human beings, made in his image, human beings with free will. So God made the world knowing what it was going to cost him, knowing what we were going to do, knowing that his Son was going to have to come into the world and die for us. God doesn't stop revealing his character as creator and entrepreneur in Genesis. As the next two entries in this reading plan shows us, the Godhead continues to reveal these characteristics throughout Scripture through the Spirit and the Son. So we could battle against it, we can, do whatever, but He created this. He created this knowing what we would do, all our faults, all our, craziness. It was all God that created us and helped us, and He still does help. And in the today's scripture, in the beginning, this is Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God. Stop there. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon it, upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So that's day one of this 3-day reading plan. And so, we're trying to um, get right, not really get right with God, but we're trying to know that He is in control. He's the one who created. And if you have any creative talents that came from Him, I know I do. And I will be back tomorrow with the second devotional of this. And God bless.